Hey everyone, coming at you with another video in the Executive Protection and Private Military Contracting series, going through this old manual I have from one of my former trainers and employers. So we're going to start off with the Executive Protection or Bodyguard basics. Again, context-wise, this was a multinational structured drafting with this training manual, so some of the terminology is British, some of it is American, some of it, is kind of mishmash and mixed and matched just for general application with widespread OCONUS outside the continental United States types of operations. So again, bear in mind with that. So to start off, Bodyguard basics protocol. Protocol is one of the most common reasons for protection agents being hired or fired. Such subjects as dress, hygiene, habits, and behavior. The subject can be covered, but you will learn as you go in the industry. Clients' requirements vary. So it is a crawl, walk, run type of thing. Obviously, some precursory things, you should be pretty freaking squared away, right? Dress. Appearance is very important. The first thing a potential client will see of you. If you're dressed immaculately, people will assume you to be able to take care of yourself. Feel good with your dress, and it will show by your confidence. Your suit is what you will be wearing most of the time with corporate events. Stay away from 100% polyester as they crease very easily. It's also heat sink. Depending on the material type, but when it comes to suits, absolutely, they get very hot. Only if client prefers single or double suit, then either should be fine. Try to go for the conservative looking suit, navy blue or gray. Choose black suits carefully. Make sure your suit trousers fit you properly and just reach your shoes. Don't look like you're walking through a flood. Don't look too baggy. Short trousers will not do. So, another point of context with this, going back to the material type with suits, especially for executive protection and protective security details, when you are having to dress up, as they're talking about here, something with a little bit of flex in the material is actually really good. You probably want to have to end up getting some specialty tailored suits with certain specialized materials and reinforcement in certain areas, like in the knees and things like that, as well as the capability to carry all of your tools on you, your firearm and your other equipment as well. So augmentation and modification of suits usually needs to happen. Pastel shirts are alright throughout the working day, but try to wear white shirts for the evenings. Again, variable depending on where you are. Always have spare shirts around when traveling in case of emergencies. Wear long sleeves if you have any tattoos. Make sure they are covered. Kind of a given. Again, context of what you're doing and where you are. You may want to end up kind of looking a little bit more like a tourist. You may end up being a little bit more of this business casual kind of wear. It all depends. That comes with your advanced work and just your general understanding of regional environments as you're in them and the kind of activities that you're doing with your client. Ties should be silk and match your choice of suit and shirt. That's variable. Keep the knot smart and in line. Keeping the knot smart and in line with your collar. Wear a decent sized belt. Keep to black with not a fancy shiny buckle. So brushed nickel, things like that. If you're wearing like a navy blue suit, you're gonna want a brown belt. Just understand how to match colors. Be somewhat fashionable. At least have a fashion mindedness. Shoes should be tie-ups and not slip-ons. Always tie in double knots for safety. Black shoes go with most clothing, and you should always be kept very clean. Make sure they fit you correctly. You'll be doing a lot of walking and standing around. Now, I have a video out on specialty shoes for executive protection equipment. Steel-toed dress shoes with non-slip soles. There are specialty footwear out there, okay? Remember that. I have a video on that. Go back and look at it. Socks should be dark in colors and matching the clothing you're wearing, not white or different colors. Hygiene, avoid body odor at all costs, shower and wash as much as possible. Teeth should be cleaned and breathe fresh, nails clipped and clean, hair combed, looking well taken care of. Try to wear odorless deodorant with hardly any scent. Obviously a given, but there are some scrubs out there and you will be reprimanded. Habits. Smoking should not be done even if a client smokes. Try not to smoke on duty. Again, this is variable. Smoking and having cigarettes is actually very useful in foreign countries. Nose picking should not be done, given. Most people find it very disgraceful. Try to use a handkerchief and be discreet. No gum chewing at all either. You know, you got Zyn pouches and stuff nowadays, but I am a smoker, and a lot of my team guys were smokers too, so that point is whatever. Again, that can be very useful overseas, actually, to have that trait or those things. Behavior, always be on your best behavior. You do not know who's watching you at any time, maybe not your client, but associates, as well as just people in general. Never let your clients see you having fun and talking and laughing with other team members, drivers, or any waitress. Could be seen as you not doing your job correctly. Again, context, it depends. If you're on downtime, shift off. Again, executive protection is different than your private military contracting, so context matters as much as what the general environment is. Some clients are really cool about that kind of stuff, and they actually want you to be social with them to a certain extent. And you can be, but again, having that professional bearing, especially when your job is to fucking protect them. So, here we go. Bodyguard walking formations. These are basic formations, which will give you an understanding of how the individual and teams operate around a client. You have to be adaptable and operate the formations to the present situations and environment you are in. There are only so many variations to walking formations. The difference will become apparent when we move on the actions on attack drills. That is when you'll see a major difference in our techniques. So it's just some icons. You got the client principal, you got your standard protectors or bodyguards, whatever you want to call them. PES, personal escort sections, your additional private security detail, protective security detail guys, SAT, your satellite operators, also called your CAT team, counter ambush team. Again, all the context, all the lingo, interchangeable. Things have changed over the years. But again, British terminology here as well as American terminology mixed in. Bodyguard and client, one person team. Not common, but it does happen. One bodyguard and one escort section as a two-person team with the principal. You're sandwiching. Here you're either leading or sometimes you're tailing. A lot of the time you're going to be leading. Sandwiching. One bodyguard and two protected escorts. Three-person team. Sandwiching again. Using the outside escorts as flyers. Four-person team, same kind of deal. You see how this pattern is working. Four-person team variation, pretty much the same as the other one. Five-person team, same deal. Perimeter is held by your PSD escorts. The primary protector, or the bodyguard or whatever, that's usually in the executive protection context, so that's going to be your team leader. Most experienced guy. In private military contracting, it's a little bit different because your team leader is doing a lot of the communications work as well. So it gets balanced out a little bit more with all your team guys. Satellite operators. Security advanced party satellite operators have a great deal of freedom, having the ability to dress down, blend in a little more with the environment and surroundings. They are able to see long-range threats, deal with situations, giving the team extra security. Satellites have the ability to work as advanced personnel, checking areas before the team and client get there. They can be used for any team formations. Is very flexible. Now, this is more common for private military contracting, protective security details, and other work. These are the same guys that, and what I was doing, you know, being a counter ambush teams and your emergency response team people and stuff, going in and doing the advanced work and things, which I've talked about before and have videos on before. Okay, so here's another template here. Principal is there, your client principal, team lead or your protector. You've got your escorts, the satellites, fans concentrically outward from there. Same kind of template here, just additional personnel. Same kind of deal, variations. More variations, okay? More people get added for various things. So this is very common to see for especially a PSD in a conflict zone, is having multiple vehicles full of people for doing these escorts. Bodyguard vehicle MBUS and DBUS drills. The client will carry out most his or her journey by vehicle, which being very vulnerable. The two main points of the MBUS and DBUS procedures. In order to counteract any threat at the MBUS DBUS point, we have established a series of drills to help minimize the risk of any attack. Principles: no rushing, maintain distance between team members, correct distance between vehicles, vehicles to stop as close as possible to entrance or exit, and then your perimeter control and access control vehicle positioning. Windows closed and doors locked, correct use of seatbelts, drivers should know the vehicle capabilities, all around observation. Considerations: the threat, the client's habits, knowing him or her, the client's perception and attitude towards the team members, scheduled and unscheduled stops, walking drills, and beware of MBUS and DBUS drills overseas, driving on the opposite sides of roads, and general congestion. Drills, orthodox. This is when the vehicles are stopped in such a way as to allow the client to MBUS, DBUS on the same side of the building, the same side of the vehicle, all that stuff. Unorthodox, this is where the vehicles are stopped in such a way that the client has to walk around the vehicle in order to MBUS, DBUS to enter a building. We try to avoid this, but sometimes it's unavoidable. It's better if it's the venue or site has some security, some outer concentric security, like gates that can close. A little bit more comfortable with doing this kind of thing then. Drills have to be adapted for convoys of more vehicles. Client should always sit in the rear of the vehicle as the opposite side from the driver. When entering vehicles, always drop down backside first, keeping feet on the ground for a stable position, swing legs in when ready. When arriving the second vehicle to be in position, team members on the ground first and in positions giving all-around observation. So again, order of operations, stages of when people get in and out of vehicles. The outer escort teams, your CAT team and stuff, they're going to be roving around and exiting their vehicles first. When leaving, team not to move until the client is safely in the vehicle. Then move in a quick manner, but do not run. Range walking, anyone knows you know. Keep vehicle distances about 12 feet apart. Rear vehicle to turn wheels outwards in case of a ram or fast maneuvering. Vehicle engines to be left running and driver behind the wheel ready for any action. The driver's job is to drive. Vehicles to be ready before time when client is ready to depart. Remember, if the team looks alert, professional, and confident, would-be attackers might think twice before attempting any actions. Now, pretty good context there. Okay, next video we'll get more into even more of the vehicle dynamic stuff, because there's a whole other section for vehicle MBUS and DBUS positions. But for this, kind of the general overview and information for the initial makeup of your protection forces. Okay, and how the general activities up to getting in a vehicle and then exiting a vehicle and your standard mobile or on foot type of activities are done. Okay, so again, this manual is old. This is from one of the very first gigs that I had after the military, and really good training at the time. It still holds up, but this information is technically outdated, and just kind of sharing some of that with you guys. So again, context, a lot of good info there. And yeah, just wanted to share some more of that with you guys. So that'll be it for this week. Metal up. Here we go. We'll zoom out a little. Metal up. Out.